All right. Go ahead.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Mike here with Canadian Musician Magazine. Right now at Little Trinity Anglican Church in downtown Toronto, the Sing Toronto Vocal Arts Festival is now underway. We'll be going into next week, and with me is the guys from one of the headliners and big attractions of this year's festival, Rockapella. One of the premier acapella groups in North America. So good. In the world.
I've been there.
So guys, I guess a good way to start off, since there's so many of us, is everyone want to just do a quick introduction, say who they are and what their vocal role in the group is.
Calvin, tenor.
I'm the beatboxer. Sorry, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm Mitchell, and I'm a tenor as well.
My name is Bryant. I'm the bass.
Scott. Tenor. Candidate.
So guys, I came in just as you were wrapping up a workshop ahead of your headlining show tonight with, it looked like a group of, or multiple groups of high school choir students, is that correct? First of all, how did that go? What kind of stuff were you guys covering with them?
I forgot.
Singing technique and rhythm and working together as an ensemble.
Oh yeah, the secrets, the warm-ups, like warm up with the motorboat warm-up. The apple cider vinegar, I shouldn't share that secret, but we do a shot of apple cider vinegar before the show. A lot of water, staying in shape, and that's it.
There were some great singers, actually. We heard a lot of really good singers.
Fantastic.
Music is alive and well in Ontario.
Well, what's the state of acapella right now, in the sense that it seems to be one of those things that within the popular consciousness, it's always, it rides a wave and comes and goes with the trends, kind of like all music does, obviously. But in the last number of years, there was the Glee phenomenon, and then there's Pitch Perfect. We've seen younger vocal groups like A440 and Pentatonics really make waves in the popular consciousness. So right now, like, what's the state of acapella groups in the popular consciousness? Like, how are you guys feeling when you go out on tour right now?
There's a new wave, like you said, we rode the wave. We've been like this the whole time for 25 years.
Yeah.
Rockapella, while it goes, hey, In Sync, Boyz II Men, and Glee, Pentatonics. It's been like Rockapella. We've seen it all. So I think there's definitely much more acceptance of it in the mainstream. Kids in high schools and middle schools, they all got acapella groups now. Because when we started, maybe the Ivy League each had one or two groups.
Yeah.
That was it. Around the world, middle schools have groups now. So it's really exploded in popularity. So there's just a lot more interest in it. It's cooler to be kind of, it used to be kind of a misfit kind of following that we had, but now it's kind of like, misfits are cool since Glee, and since it's kind of cool to be off.
Yeah.
You're like, off! Not vocally. Not vocally.
What you guys do, it's not barbershop quartet. It's a lot more modern than that. There's like soul, funk, just elements of kind of all popular music and what you guys do. And it seems in a lot of ways that the acapella trend has caught up to rockapella in a way.
I like the sound of that. That's great.
But have you guys noticed that? Well, it's interesting that rockapella is kind of an entity within itself, and there's been a lot of members come and go over the years. But has that always been rockapella's thing? Has the group as an entity always been
Mixture of styles?
Yeah, exactly. With a real modern sound.
we had that kind of original kind of contemporary acapella sound, kind of like an acapella band sound. And we were able to apply that to all the different genres, from the Mills Brothers to the 50s and 60s to the Motown to modern stuff. And that's kind of the through line, is that you have the rockapella sound, which is a signature sound. So it's a lot of fun to keep creating, because there's always new stuff to do. And now we've just been talking about applying it to like classical kind of vibe, a new rockapella vibe. So check out for that rockapella, Bach rockapella. Rockapella.
Versus Rockapella. Good luck to us.
Rockapella.
Which one of you has been in the group the longest now at this point?
I have.
Okay.
Grandpop.
And I believe it's been, if I remember correctly, it's the early 90s or so.
91. When Carmen Sandiego started the TV show.
Right. I should have mentioned that in the intro. That any fellow 90s kids would recognize.
Right.
Canada as well as USA.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
That show was just...
2, 3.
in the world is
Carmen San Diego.
In Canada! So Scott, for you, having kind of witnessed all these many transformations of the group, as people have come and gone, how does that work as far as changing group dynamics and the changing sound as people have come and gone?
Well, having early onset dementia, I'm able to forget anything that's gone before. So I don't remember anything before, so it's all new to me. But, you know, we've gone from a kind of a four-man group with no percussion to stand and kind of be clever and witty and snarky and collegiate, kind of that kind of, you know, wink, nudge, nudge, to kind of a more mainstream, kind of a lot of staging, a little more funky, more R&B flavored. Definitely, we've moved in that direction over the quarter century that we've been doing it. So it really is fun to do. It's so much fun, and this group of guys is so much fun. So it's really never been better, and even technically, it's never been better. So, you know, it's just it feels like we just keep getting newer, making good stuff, and we just keep having fun and making good stuff.
Which one of you is the newest member?
Kind of like
We came in within a week of each other.
That's right.
So how was it for you guys stepping into this well-established entity that is Rockapella, but also having to kind of find your spot within this, you know, five-man vocal makeup in the group? What was that experience like for you guys initially stepping into this?
A dream.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, we both grew up listening to the original five. So to be able to already know historically the roles that we were stepping into, it made it a pretty smooth transition in terms of what our responsibilities were going to be. Now, getting up to speed on the repertoire and understanding how quickly these guys churn out music, that was a little learning curve for that. But in terms of the passion behind it and diving in and knowing what our responsibility was in each of our positions, we just hit the ground running. We were really excited.
Yeah, and certainly the arrangements are, a Scott Leonard arrangement is much more difficult, or intricate, I should say, than any arrangement I had ever heard before. But the nice part about it is he just began to arrange around our voices. We didn't really have to change what we do. We brought what we bring to the group, and he, you know, kind of morphs around that, which is great. I mean, like the five of us, we realized we make such a great sound and we have fun. So we didn't really have to change much about what we do. Becoming a part of such a well-rounded group that we both grew up with is really cool. But it's been an easy transition, I feel.
When writing original music as an a cappella group, how does that work? I'm talking to a couple different a cappella groups and singers, and sometimes they're kind of formulating it all in their heads or formulating it as an a cappella song. Others said they essentially write more typically on piano, guitar, and then start kind of swapping out the instruments for vocal parts. How does it work with you guys?
Well, for me, it really is just like writing any song. I don't really think of it as an a cappella song. Some songs lend themselves more to a cappella arrangements, I guess, than others. But I just basically start, it's the song. It's just the melody and the message. And I think I've just gotten better at trying to make a pop song, you know, don't bore us, get to the chorus kind of thing with Rockapella, especially because Rockapella is entertaining. You know, it's not like we're not like
That's a t-shirt.
That was awesome. That's the new Rockapella.
Yes.
Don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
We're not like Grateful Dead or some kind of jam band that goes up. We just like improvise. You know, it's like we have fun songs or entertaining songs. So that's the direction we've been going with our original stuff, is being more, you know, a little bit more succinct in the way they're made. But I think we're just getting better. The more you do some craft, you know, just put in the time and keep doing it, the better you get at it. You know? I don't think it's us solely.
See, that line, don't bore us, get to the chorus. I would have thought you had said that like in every interview. I was like, that's such a good
I can't claim that. I heard somebody else say that.
I didn't.
Scott Leonard.
Scott Leonard's
When doing covers or reinterpretations of existing songs, it's kind of the flip side of the last question. How does that work as far as identifying something? Because not every typical, you know, instrument-driven song is going to work as an a cappella song. So how do you identify what will work, and then what's the process of
I'm not sure what the
transferring
exact process of it. In my brain, I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. Like one of the guys will have an idea for a song. I'm like, oh, you're right. If it's, you know, it's got a strong hook on it. Now, if there's some sort of strong instrumental hook that kind of sounds kind of stupid, I kind of like when people try to pretend like they're like that's very novel, but we were the original novelty act, you know, with Rockapella back in the early. Now it's like, you just look for a good hook, or like, something that connects with people, you know, because when you do it acapella and rockapella, it's very immediate. The kind of way we make the music, it's just with us, with you, and nothing between us and you. So if you've got a good hook that's emotional, it's easy to deliver it.
That's cool. And sorry, is it Jeff?
Jeff.
Beatboxer.
Yes, sir.
How do you do, like, not how do you do it, but how do you develop that skill? Like, I was watching you, you guys did a performance for, at the end of the workshop here, and during a lot of it, I was watching you be like, how's that sound coming from that dude?
You know, I compare it a lot to, like, playing a brass instrument, because the same stuff's going on. There's stuff inside the mouth, outside the mouth, and there's the endurance aspect of it.
His endurance and stamina, the power of the sounds is remarkable.
Yes.
I mean, I can't believe he's been doing it over 25 years. His head hasn't exploded. Oh, pressure! I mean, it's like 2 hours.
You know, a lot of guys who do it, whether they've got a long career or a short career or whatever it is, you're doing it with yourself a lot. In your shower, in your car.
Well.
Hey. But that's how you really get better, because it's kind of a self-taught art. You can go on YouTube, but you kind of have to make it your own. And I'm a fan of people, making their own stuff and sounding unique, because your mouth is different from everybody else's.
Is it a real strain on your vocal cords?
That's a common question. It's mostly just the mouth, like a trumpet player. Yeah. I might vocalize a little bit. Yeah, exactly. I might do like a grunt or something, but there's nothing harsh going on. It just looks harsh.
I'm surprised you don't look like Dizzy Gillespie, because he had
Just the muscles.
I've got a few photos I can show you.
oh, like an X-Man.
All the outtakes and everything.
And getting near the end here, but as I was going through your guys' recent discography and catalog, you'll probably know when I say this, but 2 songs from 2016 stood out to me. One was Get a Lot, and the other was Better Together. Obviously, it was in the lead up to.
Open that door.
What's that?
Open that political door.
Well, I dug it.
It was an
I wondered
interesting
why
year,
you guys. That's to say the least. And, anyways, hasn't exactly gone as I'm sure we all hoped, but you know. But I just gotta say, what? Obviously, things were tense, remain tense. But what made you guys? Because you hadn't been a political band up to that point. So what made you guys at that point say, you know what, we might receive some blowback from our fans for this, but it's worth it?
Yeah. Well, you know, I had this idea. What a great idea for a song. I had this title, Sir God a Lot, just sitting in my because I write down what ideas for songs. I put down little voice memos. Sir God a Lot, and then I'm watching something with Trump, and I'm like, oh, there it is. That's who he is. And this was made when we had no inkling that it would actually win.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was hilarious. The guy's freaking, it's nuts. You know, it's just like, it's so entertaining. Like, it's in a macabre sort of way now.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was kind of like, this is awesome. So we just went for it with that. And that was just like, you know, it's like such an obvious target. So that was easy. But then
now it's like aged into it.
I was Hillary. You know, I was like, so I was like, oh man, we need to do the opposite. You know, we need to do a Hillary song. You know?
But to your credit, I think Better Together survives on its own, apolitically.
Thank you. Yeah. They're good. Well, that's the thing. You know, don't work.
There you go.
It's a good song, man. It's like, you know, and so, but you know, it was funny to see the reaction of some people. I mean, I never like, oh, people actually paying attention. There was a lot of people like, I wish they didn't do it. You know? It's like, come on, like it's life. It's like, you know, why can't? I didn't really want to make a huge statement, but it was just kind of a subject matter to deal with.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I dug it.
The video is outstanding. The video, Jeff did
Sir
that.
God a Lot was the wackiest video.
That
We
is
shot it on a
intense.
cruise ship while we were off working on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
And
But the
I was
editing.
editing it in I was on vacation making little heads of us spin, and oh my goodness, not my first choice.
Oh yeah, the next election.
Wait for our next election.
I don't know the world can handle anymore. Yeah, so to wrap up here, you guys are obviously headlining a show tonight here at Sing in Toronto. For those who haven't seen you or haven't seen video of you guys, what's a Rockapella show like? What can folks tonight expect?
energy.
Lots of energy and fun. It's
Very
that's like a
personal.
cliche to say, but it's actually true.
Yeah.
It's actually true. And I think, people always say we appear so relaxed and we have a great time. And that's really, I like to say, we're like in our living room on stage. We're just facing out toward the audience.
There's a lot of staging too. Like we don't see that a lot. I think about acapella groups. There's a lot of choreography and stuff like that. So we kind of made it a full sensational, a multi-sensational show.
Awesome. Well, if you're in town and see this, check out Rockapella. If not, be sure to see them next time they come through town. As far as your guys' itineraries, tonight the only Canadian show. Do you have other Canadian shows coming up?
Tonight is the only Canadian show.
Do you guys come through the country often?
Not enough.
Well,
We'd love to.
We'd love to have you. I hope you guys do. And so for those lucky enough to catch them, do it because it's quite the experience. And guys, I really enjoyed this.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Awesome.